Welcome on Inspiral team. I'm really excited for you to be here. And I'm Estella, the co-founder of Inspiral. And also I'm kind of the system person, and I love creating ease, grace, and flow with everything that we do. And as a remote team, we want to make sure that we are, having the most efficient things in place that supports our work. That we feel that we have everything that we need in place, and also optimize our lifestyle so we work the things that's the most important, and also have lots of time to take out to do fun things in life, and just enjoy Bali, enjoy different amazing adventures or travels or whatever you are up to. So I'm gonna walk you through now a little bit of an onboarding video on what are the things that you will need to prepare, you need to have set up on Inspiral. How do we work as an organization? What are the different things that you need to be aware of? And a little bit of technical stuff that also John's going to be recording a few more videos where he shows you more specific on how you run a campaign, what are the different stages that you have to be taking through clients, how do you record sales and things like that. So today this first video is mainly going to be about how can you communicate with everyone on the team within Inspiral, the communication Slack channel that we use. I'm going to speak a few minutes about that. If you already know Slack, you've been used it before, then you can just scroll ahead a few minutes on the video. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the things you need to set up your email to the client campaign, your Calendly link to book your appointments, also your Skype, and fix your funnel accounts. And those are the things that you need in order to get in a campaign and start making calls and start engaging with different prospects in the process. And then also I'm going to just briefly talk about the documents that what we are using on Google Doc, what are the folders that you have for each client and each campaign set up, and what are the main things that you will be using as an agent, and what are the things that you kind of like have like a bird eye view of things. And then there's another few videos that John's recording that you can look a little bit into at how each of those documents are used. And it's quite simple. It may be a little bit when you first watch the video, it may be a little bit like, whoa, there's a lot of small things, but actually it's really simple. And once you do your setup once, then it's just everything is set up already and it's going to flow really easy. So that's our intention with these short recordings, to make your life more simple. And of course, if you have any questions or something comes up, something you are unsure of, just let me know, and we are happy, we are always here. So let's get right into it. I'm going to be sharing my screen, and on my screen I can show you a little bit things around. So the first thing, as I said, is Slack. And if you haven't used Slack before, Slack is a really cool messaging chat platform, a communication platform for remote teams. And it really just makes it much easier that all of us can communicate on the same things. We can exchange information, ask questions, and have just a day-to-day also support mechanism, and celebrate successes, celebrate every sale. So I'm going to send you an invite to Slack. You just log into the Slack, which is inspiralinslack.com. And this is the main Slack Inspiral home channel that you're going to be dropping into. You're not going to see all these channels. You're going to only have access to the channels which the campaigns that you actually actively are participating on. So let's say if you are on Tyler Tolman campaign, you're going to be on TT Sales channel, and with all the different awesome team members who are, like for example, we just made 2 sales over the weekend, and just another one family. So it's a really good way that we keep energy flowing, we encourage each other, we celebrate success together, and also ask questions. So as you get on a campaign, you may have a question around a certain program, a certain product, pricing. You feel you have any information you need, and this is the Slack channel that you can be talking about and asking anything in relation to that campaign. We have John on the channel, we have myself on the channel, we have all the awesome salespeople on the channel, and we also have May and Nina, who you can be, and anyone you want to message. So if you want to message me, then you just go on Estella, @Estella, and then that's going to be sending a message to me, and I'm going to see that you are talking to me. I'd like to ask The other cool thing that you can be using is the emojis, just make life a bit more fun. You can have all kinds of unicorns and other cool stuff. And then May and Nina ask finance related questions. So if you have questions around exact dates of a program, exact amounts, you can ask them, or also you can always ask myself and John. So I think that first always just go to John and myself, and then if it's something more specific, you can also ask May and Mina. And of course, you can just also engage in the group with other team members, and you can, and the whole idea is that we are a community, we are a team, we support each other, we celebrate success together, and yeah, they share. So this is all what you need to know about Slack. It's really simple. You can also install it on your phone. You can just look for Slack app, install it, and then you have it there. It's almost like Messenger, but all the communications happening in one place, which is really, really cool. If you want to be just giving some inspiration maybe for the week, you can use Inspiral Home as a main channel. That's where we sometimes, Carol just posted an awesome quote. Or when we have meetings, then we put up the meeting room ID, so you can just join on here. We have all the Monday and Friday meetings on Zoom. Or we do also do the recording of the meetings, so you can just watch back if you missed it and you want to know more about it. And if you need to message someone directly, you can also just reach out to me. If there is something specific, you can say, hey, Stella, I can't find this or can't find that, whatever it is, and just message me. So this is Slack. I think it's pretty simple and sweet. The next one is that for any campaign that you're going to be working on, so if it's Tyler Tolman, or right now we have Kali Sales running, or also we have random base sales. So whichever campaign that you are on, that you will need to have an email address for that client. So let's say that, Estella at drkaliexpert.com. If I'm on that campaign, then I would need to get my own email address, and I'm going to be a scholarship assistant on evaluation team member of that client. So of course, you are working with us in Inspiral, but you don't really need an Inspiral address. You need the address of the client, because they are the ones who you represent, and those are the emails that you're going to be receiving from the client. I'm going to be doing this video now on the example of Kali Expert project, because we just launched it yesterday, so everything is kind of fresh and in my mind. There is a really cool sales setup doc that we put together for Kali, and that's just for you to see what are the things that you need. So you need email address. We can set this up for you. So once you're on the campaign, and if you don't have an email, you message Estella, I need my email, and then you're going to receive it. Once you have your email address and your password, you just activate it. So you log into your email and you make sure that it's active and you can use it. Then the next thing that you have to set up a Calendly link. Calendly is, I'm sure many of you are familiar with, really simple tool. You can go on calendly.com and register. I'm already registered, so I'm going to just go onto my account. Register with the new email that you received. So if it's estella@drkaliexpert.com, that I'm going to register on that with that email address. And that's where your meeting, you're going to have an ID, like a link, where clients can book in the time with you to speak. And it's really cool for you as well, because that's how you can be managing all your prospects the time. So for example, I have meetings set up for Friday with a few of the people. How you set up, I would recommend that you set up 30-minute meetings that people can be booking in. And it's quite simple. You can just go on here, and the main thing that you have to do is that you have to set up your time. And as we are, we are a remote team. We all have different projects running. You may have your own business. You may work with another company as well. And when you want to be doing your Inspiral work, is a kind of like a consistent thing, but you also want to be aligning the times that suits you. So one of the best things that usually John and we say is that when you go on a campaign and you say like, okay, for the next 2 weeks, I'm really going to be focused on this campaign. We know that Pilot campaign is coming up, and you know that we have enough leads for you, and you're going to be on it. Then you just set up your calendar for that 2 weeks with the days that you're available, and then chunks of time. The best is that if you can, if you say that okay, each day you're going to be working 3 hours per day in the mornings. From 9 to 12, and then you block that 3 hours that you're going to be in a stable place, a stable connection. You're going to be available for the call. You're going to be, having good connection so you can hear, and all those kind of things are set up for yourself. And of course, as you may have calls on different time zones, sometimes that's when it gets a bit challenging, and then you may have to make yourself available on different time of the day, so people can book in depending on what time zone they are on. So for example, now the times that I have set up for myself, I have most of the people here in Europe and Australia, but then also there are people who want to booking in from the US. So I make myself available like mainly during the day, but then I also have 1 or 2 mornings that I set up a few hours in the morning that people can book me in, because I know that that's what US time realistic. It's different on different campaign, and most of the time, and for example, Pilot it's mostly Australia, but then Random Base, for example, is a global campaign, and obviously depending on what clients we're working with and which time zone the campaign is on, then it's just something to be aware of. Once you set up your availability, then you can just go on your live page, and that's where you're going to see, that's where people can book you in. So they go on, when the email goes out to prospects saying that they can book in a time with the signed, evaluator for their scholarship, for example, or their winner prize, then they're going to see your for example, Estella's calendar, that they can book in, and they're going to pick a time like 8 o'clock, confirm, and then it's going to come up on your email saying that, hey, you have new booking for 8 o'clock. You can also connect your calendar with Gmail calendar, so that way I have automatically all the calls dropping in here. So that's really good and handy, that it just keeps track of your time slots. I think it's pretty simple. Once you set up your calendar with your email address, just make sure that your times are set up correctly, so you're going to be available, and then send it to us on the campaign that you own. So for example, Carly says, you can just tag me in, Estella, here's my email set up, here's my calendar set up, I'm ready to go. Awesome. The next thing that you're going to need is your Skype account. That's very simple. I'm not going to go through that. I think that everyone pretty much have a Skype account. If not, then let us know. And fix your funnel account. That's going to be set up for you, and you're going to receive the logins for that you can log into. Fix your funnel is probably something that you haven't worked with before. So you're going to need a little bit more training on how you use Fix Your Funnel, and that's mainly where you manage your leads in Fix Your Funnel. That's where you make your phone calls from. That's where you make notes of each prospect. That's where you follow up with people on. And John's going to do a whole video just talking about Fix Your Funnel and the way that how you manage people. It's pretty simple and it's really handy. And it's going to really help you to, just that you don't have to have too many like papers and notes and everything all over, but everything is organized in Fix Your Funnel for you. And you're going to be also calling from there. There's a few countries that you can't call from Fix Your Funnel, and that's the reason you have to have a backup Skype account set up. That probably you're not going to use much, but if in case you need to, then just send us the bill for your Skype bill, so we can be returning that back to you. And that's mainly your your main tool that you're going to be using for making the course from. So I think that we went through most of the things that you need for setup. And as you see, it's quite simple. I'm going to show you one more last thing, which is a general sales folder. And I'm going to show you a really brief overview of the different documents that you use throughout the campaign. At first, it's going to be lots of different documents, and you kind of have to understand what each document is used for. But once you get into a flow, it's a really good way. And, we do our best to have all information available to you. So you don't have to be searching too much or thinking too much. You can just really be, dedicated to have amazing conversation with clients and have everything at your fingertips. So I'm going to do the example of Kali Expert. And these are the main documents that what we have in here and that what we are using. I'm going to start with the sales script, maybe, and the master doc. Those are the first two documents that you're going to, find it really useful and handy to have with you before the course and during the course. The master document has all the information about the client and the specific program that what the campaign is running with and what we are offering. These master documents needs constant, updating, and we try our best to always keep them up to date. If you see something in there that's not clear or something that you think is outdated, then just make a comment or a note for us to look at it, but it's going to be pretty much like on track. So mainly this is where you can see information about the client, Dr. Kali Expert. This is the campaign page, so you can actually see that which campaign that we're running and what the offer is, what's the language, what the different programs are. You can see the dates of the campaign, the Slack channel that you can be communicating with the team. And you're going to have a brief overview of everything that you need for this campaign. So what are the main programs that what we're offering, and also what are the commissions that you're going to receive as a sales agent. I'm going to share this doc on Excel as well. That's also in the same folder. So programs and commissions, if you go on here, this is the Excel version, and then we just put a screenshot in here. And so, it's all in AUD dollars. Flight tickets, accommodations, insurance, transport is not included. So for each program, you're going to have a set of different things that you just need to be aware of. You read it once, it's pretty clear. If you have questions, that you just ask. And here you're going to see the different programs that Kali is offering. These are the programs. Spinal Flow Weekend, for example, this is the website price. So these are the normal pricing of the program. Then there is a price that she's using on events. So when people come to an intro event, then they get a discounted price if they purchase right there and then. And then usually we do our campaigns as a follow-up. So when we get on the phone and we have a really good discount as well, usually it's even better pricing than what we have at the events, and which is really great because people get really excited and really just feel supported that they can do the program at an even, better pricing and a better discount. This is the amount of scholarship. So let's say if the website price is $2,900 and on Inspiral the campaign price is $1,900, and there is $1,000 scholarship amount that in this case, for example, it can go down to, the program can drop down to $1,500 in certain places if people really need that additional few $100 financial support, and then the scholarship amount is much bigger, of course. This is the sales commission that you would receive on per sale. So this is just a general review for this campaign. Like, you obviously have to look at the one that you are going to be working on. It's probably not Kali because they have only a few projects with Kali, but this is a good way to kind of like see how everything's organized. So back on the master doc, program and these commissions. Then you have the programs with all the links and the dates. each of these links go to the website. That's where you have like a really detailed description of what the spinal flow weekend is, when is it held, what dates, what time, what it includes, and all those kind of things. If you need more information, you just go on the website directly and look on there. If you can't find something and your clients are asking, then you just ask on Slack. So that's pretty simple. There are a few just main questions like what is the spinal flow healer certification, for example, or what is this whole technique about? And all these questions are just good to have a scan through, that you have a good understanding of the program you represent. And the other thing that's quite important is just before that you have a look at what the payment plan options and the terms and conditions for each campaign is. We set up quite clearly. So, for example, if clients pay the full payment in one or within 30 days, then there is no surcharge. If they need to be making payment plans that stretch over 30 days, that it's going to include a 10% surcharge. That in some cases, we can negotiate down to 5% or the minimum of $25 per transaction. We say that because there's quite a lot of extra work involved from our side, the financial team side, as well as the client side, to be following up on payment plans. So that's why we try to, encourage people to pay in full upfront. But if they do need the payment plan and that would help them, then we can give that option to them. And there has to be like an additional surcharge that's going to be covering the cost of the team from our side as well as the client side to be following up on those. And then for each campaign and each client, they have their own terms and conditions, the way that how they expect payments to be made, how many payment plans they can do, if it can stretch up to 6 months, what is the minimum deposit. And usually the last payment, that's like pretty much like a golden rule, last payment needs to be done before the start of the program. So that's most of the case. If there are sometimes different exceptions, but this is just really good to be aware of. And if you have to take questions, then just ask. So this is pretty much the master doc. And now you can go and drink a coconut and do some yoga before making the next call. That was a fun sentence that Carol put in here. And yeah, it's really good and important for us that, as much as we are, we enjoy working, not hard, I would say more fun, and we love our work, but it's also important, especially when you're making calls, that you do take care of yourself. You have yourself time, you have in a really good, happy space, and, you communicate from that space. And sometimes it's, also within ourselves in the team, we always remind each other to take that little bit of extra fun time for yourself to be in a happy space, and then, act from that beautiful, happy space. So, Master Doc, that was probably the most important document that you will need to be aware of for any campaign. And then the other documents are kind of like, I'm going to scan them through relatively fast. This is the sales script. Have a read through. It gives you a really good kind of intro to the conversations. And you still gonna use your own language, and the most important that you feel really centered and aligned within yourself. But these sales scripts and these training videos as well that Brandon was doing and John's doing just helps you to kind of like frame the conversation even easier and better for you. So have a read through, see that what are the things that you can be using for the sales script to make an intro, how you introduce yourself, how do you introduce the scholarship offer that people can be taking, how do you lead discovery, and how do you go into a little bit like what client needs are, and help and support them to understand what they can be going through and shifting through by going on this program, and then how you bridge to the sale, and how you also take them on to the next step and onboard them with the payment plans. and if they have any objections, how you turn them around, how do you deal with, you know, any kind of things that come from money or time, and what are the things that, you know, just helps you in the conversation. It's really good, handy doc to have a look. And then the rest of the documents, John's going to be going through them on the next videos. These are the sales emails that's going to be automated going out from your Fix Your Funnel. But it's important that you understand what each sales stage triggers, which email. You're going to hear a little bit more about that. Also the completing and the sales emails you're going to be sending out from your email to the clients who already committed to becoming on the program and you got your sale. That's really exciting, and you're going to, it's pretty simple as well, and you're going to hear about how to adjust these emails and how you're going to send them out. And then the last one is the sales spreadsheet and how you're going to be actually recording your sale, which is really exciting. And you know, when you get to that point and you're like, okay, cool, like I'm entering in my first sales in the spreadsheet, then that's really good on you. Well done. And John's going to do another video that explains exactly like how do you put the information in. If you have any questions, the sales sheet is the main thing that the finance team, May and Mina, is working with. So once you have sales made and you put them in there, then that's where you're going to be in contact or communication with them if there's anything that's need to be handled. And then and that's also where you're going to be able to see and track that how the campaign's unfolding with the whole team. So yeah, that's about it. I hope that seems pretty simple to you as well. I'm going to be stopping the screen share. And yeah, so we are excited to have you on board. I hope that you are excited too. Maybe take a little bit of time, do a little bit of body shake, and then you can watch another few videos that John is showing to you on the Fix Your Funnel and the different processes. Or you can just get going and start with the setup in your own time. And there's no pressure. We are here, and we are looking forward to create lots of magic with you. So magical, beautiful day, and see you on Slack.